Welcome to Delta History, where the battlefield speaks and the truth cuts through the fog of war. Tonight, we bring you an extraordinary story from the front lines of Ukraine, a story of courage, firepower, and relentless determination, as the soldiers of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade unleash their Bradleys against overwhelming odds. This is not just a battle, it is a glimpse into the future of modern warfare. The advance begins. The soldiers of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade climb into their Bradley fighting vehicles. Each man knows the mission is critical, each moment vital. Inside the armoured cabin, the air is tense but steady. Orders are crisp, weapons checked, sights adjusted. As the column rumbles forward, steel tracks tearing into frozen soil, danger comes suddenly. An unexploded artillery shell becomes lodged under the tracks of one Bradley. For a moment, everything hangs in the balance, but the American-made armor shrugs off the blow. The crew feels only a jolt. The vehicle never slows. Their mission continues. Through the gunner's sight, a shape emerges in the distance, a Russian BTR-82 charging directly toward them. The threat is immediate. Without hesitation, the Ukrainian crew unleashes firepower. The first burst rips into the armored skin, shredding it like thin metal. The BTR lurches, weapons disabled, its return fire chaotic and blind. Enemy soldiers scramble desperately, abandoning their vehicle before it erupts into flames. The Bradleys push forward, relentless, guns blazing to suppress Russian firing points. The men of the 3rd Brigade press closer to their objectives, step by step, under the cover of their armoured guardians. Clash in the forest. The battlefield shifts into dense forest. Here, combat is different, closer, more dangerous. Visibility is poor, shadows conceal movement, and gunfire cracks through the trees. The enemy is near, but often unseen. A squad breaks away, moving toward trenches previously retaken from Russian troops. They clear the ground, securing the position, but suddenly the silence shatters. 2 Russian APCs thunder into view, filled with infantry. The enemy is determined to retake what was lost. The response is immediate and merciless. Ukrainian gunners strike the first vehicle with precise fire, forcing enemy infantry to scatter. One Bradley launches 2 missiles, then another. Explosions rip through the clearing. Flames consume the armoured carriers. Panic spreads through Russian lines as soldiers flee from their burning machines, abandoning their assault. Overhead, Ukrainian fighter aircraft arrive, streaking through the sky to hammer the retreating enemy. The combined assault is overwhelming. The Russian air counterstrike, but the enemy refuses to yield. From nearby airfields, Russian Su-25 attack jets roar into the sky, their wings loaded with rockets and guided missiles. It is their last chance to blunt the Ukrainian advance. Flying dangerously low, the jets streak toward Ukrainian positions, dropping their deadly payloads. Explosions rip into the earth only meters away, knocking soldiers to the ground, shaking the forest with shockwaves. But by sheer luck and preparation, casualties are minimal. Almost instantly, Ukrainian air defense crews respond. Radars lock on, fingers steady on the trigger. A missile is launched, a white-hot streak through the air. Moments later, it strikes. A Su-25 bursts into flames, spiraling downward like a fiery meteor. At the last moment, the Russian pilot ejects, parachuting to Earth. His mission has failed. Ukraine still holds the line. Thermite firestorm. The battle could have ended there, but Ukraine's war is not just about holding ground, it is about dismantling the enemy piece by piece. Reconnaissance drones sweep the area and soon detect a Russian artillery battery hidden in the tree line. 2 massive 152mm howitzers, capable of raining destruction on Ukrainian positions. Rather than risk lives in a direct strike, Ukraine unveils a terrifying innovation, a flamethrower drone armed with thermite. Thermite, a compound that burns hotter than almost anything on Earth. Impossible to extinguish. Once unleashed, it consumes everything in its path. The drone dives and releases its payload. Instantly, fire engulfs the Russian guns. Ammunition ignites in a chain of devastating explosions. Flames roar through the forest. Trucks, guns, and soldiers vanish into the inferno. One Russian soldier captures the destruction on camera as he flees for his life. The artillery battery is annihilated. The strategy of attrition. This battle is only a fragment of a much larger struggle. For months, Ukraine has embraced a strategy of methodical attrition, a war not of sudden, sweeping breakthroughs, but of constant, calculated pressure. Instead of gambling on a single offensive, Ukrainian command spreads the battlefield wide. Supply lines are harassed daily by FPV drones. Small, inexpensive, but devastating. Convoys once considered safe are now prime targets. Fuel trucks erupt into fireballs, command vehicles are struck without warning, and resupply columns vanish in sudden bursts of flame. By night, the horizon glows red. Ammunition depots are consumed by the thunder of HIMARS rockets. Entire stockpiles vanish in seconds, turning weeks of preparation into smoke. Command posts, radars, and electronic warfare centers are systematically destroyed with precision strikes. Russian coordination fragments. Orders are delayed. Radios fall silent, and soldiers at the front are left isolated. The sea offers no refuge. In the Black Sea, Ukrainian naval drones skim across the waves, striking Russian reconnaissance vessels and even larger warships. Each retreat towards Sevastopol is more than a tactical withdrawal. It is a humiliation. Every kilometer lost reduces Russia's ability to launch missile strikes, to control trade routes, and to project power from the coast. Across the front, Russian troops feel this pressure every hour of every day. Trenches once seen as fortresses are mapped from above, then shattered by relentless artillery. Bunkers collapse, dugouts burn, strongholds are pulverized before soldiers even understand they are being targeted. Counter-battery radars detect Russian guns the instant they fire, silencing them in minutes. Ukrainian air defenses strip away the enemy's final advantage in the skies, bringing down jets and helicopters that dare to approach. The effect is cumulative, but devastating. Logistics collapse as trucks fail to reach the front. Morale sinks as soldiers watch reinforcements burn on the roads. Communications break down as field headquarters are destroyed. Commanders, already stretched thin, are forced to move constantly, reacting instead of leading. Russia's war machine, designed for overwhelming firepower, is being bled dry, and not in one great clash, but in 1,000 precise cuts. The human element. And yet beyond the drones, beyond the artillery and technology, lies something even more decisive: the human spirit. The soldiers of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade and countless others across Ukraine fight not just with weapons, but with resolve. They rotate their units regularly, ensuring that exhaustion never dulls their edge. They adapt quickly, turning setbacks into opportunities, turning foreign equipment into extensions of their will. Every day they innovate, modifying drones, improvising defenses, and inventing tactics on the fly. For them, this war is not abstract. It is not about distant lines on a map. It is about their homes, their families, their very survival as a nation. That clarity of purpose fuels their endurance, even under relentless fire. In stark contrast, Russian forces often reveal a different story. Intercepted communications tell of hesitation and doubt. Soldiers argue over orders, question their commanders, or abandon their positions altogether. In drone footage, men can be seen fleeing trenches before the battle has even begun, leaving weapons and comrades behind. The sense of duty is fractured, the trust between command and frontline broken. This contrast in morale is as decisive as any weapon. For Ukraine, every soldier carries the weight of defending their homeland. For Russia, many soldiers carry only confusion, fear, or resignation. And in modern warfare, where battles are won as much by will as by firepower, this difference shapes the outcome. The turning tide day by day, strike by strike, Ukraine pushes forward. Slowly, methodically, the Russian war machine is being dismantled piece by piece. Artillery batteries that once rained destruction on towns are destroyed before they can fire their next barrage. Ammunition depots that took weeks to assemble vanish in seconds. Supply lines are cut, fuel convoys scattered, bridges reduced to rubble. Aircraft fall from the skies, stripped of protection. This is the war of attrition that defines our time, a war not of sweeping maneuvers across open plains, but of relentless pressure, where drones the size of a backpack strike with the force of artillery, where precision weapons cripple entire brigades, and where disciplined soldiers grind down an enemy too stretched, too exhausted to endure. Each success may seem small on its own. A single truck destroyed, a radar silenced, a trench cleared. But together they form a tidal wave of pressure that Russia cannot withstand. Every strike accelerates the collapse. Every position lost opens the way for another. And with every advance, with every victory, Ukraine comes closer to rewriting not only the outcome of this war, but the future of warfare itself. The battle is over. The position is secured. What began with armoured vehicles rolling into danger ended with burning wreckage, shattered enemy lines, and the steady advance of Ukraine's finest. But this war is no longer just about territory. It is about endurance, innovation, and willpower. It is about proving that technology and tactics matter, but that courage, discipline, and determination matter even more. As the dust settles over the battlefield, one truth shines clear. The defenders of Ukraine are not only shaping the outcome of this war, they are reshaping the very definition of modern conflict. This is Delta history, where the battlefield speaks and the truth cuts through the fog of war. Thank you for watching.